did hypothetical, what if Twin was unbanned and what if Hypergenesis were unbanned. And both Twin and Hypergenesis 05'd, which is kind of funny. Okay, likely playing against Merfolk. Probably have a good hand against Merfolk. It's going to be way better on the play. Yellow hat. Yellow hat. Ba 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 ba. Thanks for the raid, Gab. Hope you're doing well today. If you're not following Yellow Hat, you're wasting your life. Your life is shriveling away before your eyes. Probably don't need to Boseiju this vial necessarily. I think I just want to play Boseiju as my green source, then play Goif, and then I can have removal to punch through next turn. Maybe if I could Boseiju and play Goif, I would hit the vial. I think Twin would even be a good win con with Solitude down the format. So I recently, last year sometime, I guess not that recent, huh? But I did the same thing with Caleb. It was post-MH2. I can't remember when it was last year. But me and Caleb did what if Twin was unbanned and what if Pod was unbanned. And both of us made Twin decks. Both of us made Pod decks. And Caleb had like a Jeskai Twin control deck that went, I think, 2 and 3. But I had a blue-red Twin deck that went 5 and 0. So, I mean, the answer is always, I don't really know. The answer is always, I don't know, the sample size is too small. Okay, I'm just going to take this trade, I think. Play a second Ragavan. Then play Fable. Just like, that sample size is too small. And then it's also, like, really true, like, it's really hard to build a draft of those decks without, like, playtesting them a ton. Is a way to find the Twin list. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also on Caleb's YouTube channel, the matches. But my impression, like, going into those playtesting games, too, was I thought that Pod was going to be, like, really, really nasty, like, super, super good in the Yawgmoth deck, and I played Yawgmoth Pod, and Caleb played, like, Naya Kiki Pod. But in practice, like, Caleb's Naya Pod did pretty well, or did, like, no, Caleb's, I can't remember, maybe it was, like, 3-2. But my Yawgmoth Pod didn't perform very well at all, so it was just kind of like a lot of weird expectations. Right? I thought the Twin was not going to dominate. Ended up 5-0ing. It was just weird. Man, maybe I ran really well with the Twin deck. But my general opinion is that anybody... I know that they have a 2-drop, so I think killing the Silvergill pre-combat doesn't make a ton of sense. I think anybody, like, making, like, blanket statements about what should or shouldn't be banned or unbanned, it's just like... You would just need to playtest so much to know for sure. I kind of have a feeling that Twin might be okay and Pod might be okay, but it's just so dangerous, right? Because those cards are so popular, and if you ever unban a card and they just end up top 8ing every single tournament, you've made a big mistake. And one of the worst things that can happen to a format is banning a card, unbanning it, and then needing to ban it again. I'm looking at you, Golgari Grave Troll. But one interesting thing to me about Twin being unbanned specifically is that it wouldn't kill Murktide as an archetype, or maybe even Shadow. And so it's like... And so you have blue-red Twin, blue-red Murktide, blue-white Control, 4-color Omnath. But maybe Twin, like, pushes the linear decks too far out of the metagame, and then 4-color Omnath is really good against Twin, and then nobody plays linear decks anymore because they don't want to be bad against Twin, and then 4-color Omnath is the best deck. That could be the case. Fire took a while to get banned. I think it took Amalgam. Yeah. But it's also like, when you unban Golgari Grave Troll, you're kind of asking for trouble. which is maybe a good critique of my position of wanting Bridge from Below unbanned. Although Bridge from Below is really fun. And it should never have been banned in the first place. Bridge should never have been banned in the first place. I don't know. Just kind of a train of thought there, I guess. I think it's better right now. Go for Shadow. About the same. Very close. Yeah, Bitter Blossom was just totally outclassed in Modern, unfortunately. You have another Seize effect for my Saga. They have infinite Silvergale adepts, and then they have a Merfolk God that's going to be indestructible if they leave up Mutavault. They're not leaving up Mutavault, though. Maybe they have a land. Alright, if they don't Violet in their Merfolk Goddess, we're going to be in pretty bad shape. If they do Violet in, then we get to Terminate it here. Maybe we'll be fine. And then maybe we could just race with a Shadowspear Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I think it was pretty bad for them to not leave up Mutavault activation to give this indestructible. Oh, okay. Oh, so also, here's the other argument for Bridge, though. Bridge from Below is like... The incarnations got printed. Fury, Solitude, Subtlety. Oh, dude. Yeah, Urza Saga is so bad in this matchup. But with the Evoke incarnations being legal, like Bridge from Below has to suck. It has to be so bad. I think if it was unbanned, it would be like Bitter Blood at some level of like never seeing any play. So it doesn't like really cost you very much to leave it on the ban list either, but I think I'm picking the Tide Shaper, trying to race. The 4-color deck would just play Twin? No, I don't think so. Alright, game 2. Happy Thursday, Yarvis. Okay, so I am gonna cut my Urza Sagas. And this, I think I'm gonna bring in like second Boseiju as like 20th land. Maybe I'll play one Saga. I know Saga's so bad against them. They have like a million Spreading Seas effects. I don't know if I could even sideboard this deep. Let's see. I could just play the Needle though. I could just play the Shadowspear. I probably have to play one Urza Saga. I could probably play one Hearse, but not two. I probably have to play one. Okay, deck tech for David. So Splendid Reclamation and Pioneer playing the hideouts. Okay, you have to play Fable Passage. Fable Passage is like an untapped hideout, right? In your Omnath deck. But I guess my question is, how are you winning the game? You're just casting Giant Hydroid Krasis, Giant Typhoons. Maybe that's fine. Is first Saga better than third Boseiju? I think it is. It's close though. Yeah, no, this is Pioneer. There's no Yavimaya, but you could play an Urborg. You could play one Urborg to like go with your hideouts to make them tap for mana the turn they enter, but an Urborg in your Omnath deck is also kind of sus, so that could be not the play. Ooh, Fable plus Splendid Wreck is also very cool. Yeah, I feel like I'd be interested in Lotus Cobra. I agree. Maybe Lotus Cobra over Grazer. Well, this kind of looks fire though. Oh, you also probably want to play. You probably want to play the 5 mana Explore. Look at top 5. Play those cards. Maybe that's better than like Hydra Krasis. Like Shark Typhoon number 4. You could play like 3 of them. Somebody in chat could help me out on the card name, I guess. I think I'm taking the Tide Shaper is pretty good against my hand. I'll take the Tide Shaper. Yeah, Escape the Wilds. Yeah, that card's pretty nasty. I feel like that's one you want here. I could be wrong. Very cool idea. Very novel idea. I really want to see you play like. I really want to see you play Fabled Passage. So something like 16 total of these effects, 4 passage, 8 of the hideouts or whatever. Or 12 of the hideouts. And then you probably don't need to play this many Marches either. March is kind of mediocre. I do like that like March can make a giant Shark Typhoon because you're hardcasting Typhoon a lot, but I don't think I would play 4. I would maybe play like 3. Maybe 2. Sideboard some more. Sideboard looks pretty solid. I would probably play the 3rd Hearse. I don't really know what matchup these Ruin Crabs are for, but it does seem kind of like a cool idea. Okay, my opponent probably almost definitely has a Merfolk Trickster, right? I'm just gonna cast a Tracker. Mount. I think I get Blood Crypt so I can't be spreading seeds off of Terminate. I'm not gonna attack into a Trickster. Oh, so they have the Trickster in hand. I just kind of missed this, but if I attack, they get to kill the Goyf. Sprinter Wreck makes lands enter untapped. What? Oh, enter tapped. So I figured Passage wasn't great. Oh, I mean, I don't think that's that big of a anti-synergy, to be honest. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think it entering untapped and casting like Wreck for you on time is better. And then it's like you're like it either enters tapped and you just get to land with it next turn, or you get to land immediately with your other card. But I don't think that's as relevant. Good draw, good draw. So what are we doing here? I kind of feel like I need to race. I guess I don't need to cast this Terminate right now. Yeah, let me actually just attack with Tracker. Leave the Goyf back for this turn. Yeah, I think this is better. Looking for a combo deck with Vivian and Karn Devoted Druid that's not the red-green version. Have I seen any good ones? I mean, that's kind of a very narrow range of the Devoted Druid combo and the Vivian combo. I have a Naya Rocco deck that plays the Devoted Druid combo, and there's probably a handful of like good Vivian lists. You can look for like Minguchi's Vivian list. I think that one's pretty good, but as far as like, I think the red-green one's the only way to play like the overlapping Devoted Druid Vivian. It's a bit too narrow of a range. Okay, so I think the play is ping Silvergill Adept. Pay for ward. Attack with both of my creatures. Then play Tireless Tracker land. They're not going to block. I could fetch shock, play Ragavan. I go down to 8. I use my mana better, and I could triple sack Clue next turn if I do this. And it's another blocker. I think this is fine. Like the life loss just doesn't matter if I'm just chump blocking. Gonna be a close game. Adept revealing Lord of Atlantis. Mutavault. My sculpture, I think I said thank you for 9 months. Either way, thank you for the 9 months. The Ruin Crabs are for combo kill with Planes in good game 1. Maybe they should be just main deck over the Grazers. That could be a different way to build it. You have to think about it some, obviously. Okay. So I could take 4. If If I take 4, they're dead to removal spell, right? Because I get to kill Lord of Atlantis, then minus. I have to pay 1 ward on both of those, though. I think I'd take it. Let me see an interesting spot. So here I can attack with Tracker Tarmogoyf. Then they have to block at least the Goyf. No, they have to block at least 1 tracker. No, sorry, they have to block 2 creatures. Because they can make the tracker 6 power. I can make the tracker 6 power. So they have to block 2 creatures. And then they only have, and then I can play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I have 2 blockers to survive. The Ragavan and the Fable token. Yeah, maybe taking 4 was bad. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, also they're not going to have Island Walk next turn, I think. Or at least it's very hard for them to. Okay, 2 blockers. Yeah, they need Island Walk to kill me. Plus a Spreading Seas effect. Well, they didn't tap the Mutavault. Paper Stagnable Mutavault. Yeah, I guess that's another line. They should have another Lord in their hand, unless they revealed it 3 times somehow. Revealed it to Thoughtseize, revealed it to Trickster, or Adept. I mean, they're not slamming it here. They're not slamming it. I can't remember how many... I don't know if this is the same Lord of Atlantis revealed 3 times. I should have obviously kept better track of it. Oh, I didn't Wrenn. Okay, sorry. Obviously should have Wrenned. It's a funny draw. Oh, dude, this turns off Island Walk at instant speed. Do I discard it, though? I don't think I discard it. I think I'm just attacking with... I guess, why don't I go and just draw a card first? Oh, I should have discarded, drawn a card in response to the Fable trigger. Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm in combat. I know I should have done a main phase. Yeah, I won't forget to end this turn. Sorry. Expansion Explosion, thank you for the 5-pack. Appreciate you, homie. So they're not playing around Burn Spell. It's fine. What is this? Is this Dismember on the Tarmogoyf? Doesn't really do anything, so it's not that. Yeah, I'm planning on just boiling if they just block with Vault and have nothing. Here they're Oda Warring my token. They're losing a Mutavault in combat. So I boil, block this. If they animate Mutavault, I'm still not dead. What am I doing with the Wrenn? I think I'm just pinging them. They would be dead if I had pinged them last turn, by the way. Big punt. But I also don't have... Blowing up my own island here is also, like, quietly huge. Okay. So they can't island walk me. I didn't play that game great, but we did win. Wasn't Boil in combat lethal, or is there already an enchantment in the yard? Oh, yeah, I missed that it puts the enchantment in the yard, too. Had some weird games today. If you've got a gifted stuff from expansion, make sure to thank them. Okay, on the draw. With a keepable hand, I think. It's kind of a weird one, though. Puts on a Mold of 6. Definitely don't mind the double discard spell against the Mold of 6. I'm pretty likely to also go discard spell into Ragavan discard spell, but we'll see what their turn 1 is. Turn 1, nothing so far. Yeah, let's just get Swamp. Discard spell, Ragavan, discard spell. And then... Yeah, I think we have Kolaghan's Command for the Hearse, so I don't think I care that much about it. I'll just take the Tide Shaper, and then they're probably playing Hearse next turn, and then I can Thoughtseize the Trickster, play Ragavan. And then the Hearse will be big enough to block the Ragavan next turn, but Kolaghan's Command should be like a crazy blowout if they crew with Mutavault. If I boil pre-combat, they wouldn't have blocked with Mutavault and bounced your guy. There isn't any reason to wait on it. Well, I thought the reason to wait on it was to make them have bad blocks, but yeah, I didn't play around the Otawara either, I guess. Gnarly Kolaghan's Command. I'm in for a Tide Shaper, especially because if they have their other Lord, it grows my my Tide Shaper. I think cutting a Fable for a Grist would be good. You could cut a Fable for a Grist, that would be okay. I think I like the 3 Fables, but I think it boils down to personal preference, really. I think I'm playing Hearse over Fable. No, I'll play Fable. Fable's a bit more pressure. Could just loot away the Hearse. Yeah, activating the Mutavault into the Pyrite Spellbomb is a bit weird, but my opponent's just so behind. I don't know if they really feel like they have any good options at all. Okay, not the best Fable flips. Dismembers Ragavan, takes 4. Good thing we have a free 5/5. Not gonna Boseiju that. Not yet, at least. Can I play, equip Shadowspear, and then Giganta post-combat? I have exactly enough if I play Boseiju, which I think is fine. Codgers, thank you for the 17 months. Appreciate you. I put deck tech and chat for pack. Yeah, you posted to get an expansion. I'll take a look. Alright, Adept, Revealing Trickster. So they must have had the Adept in hand, drew Trickster for turn. Backs it in. Beating, yeah, another Giganta win, huh? Probably winning the game without it, though. Yeah, I think I want to see you play like 3 Altar of the Brood. Play Springleaf Drum from your Urza Saga. Play probably Sideboard Shadowspear, but play at least Springleaf Drum. You could also maybe consider Brainstone as an Urza Saga target to help you combo. I think that would be fine. I'm also kind of blanking, to be honest, on like other recruiter targets, but I would just be like sitting and I would be sitting and like really combing through all the different options. Avalanche Riders might be a good choice for you. I'm gonna bolt instead of Ragavan to not fall too behind on board. House Fable I found it insane. I wasn't sure. I like only copy Goyf. Well, in this deck you get to copy Goyf Tracker and Urza Saga tokens, but I like it in Gen Saga, not so much regular Gen. Recruiter get Burning Tree Emissary. Recruiter into Burning Tree Emissary into Superion. Yeah, I mean, I want to move off the Superions. Like, it's just kind of like having the Superions being like 0 mana 4/5s are cute, but you just do not have like a very good beatdown game plan to complement them. I think. Like, I guess you have the Sagas, but your clock is really too slow. That I think you just need to be focusing on comboing. You need to be like a combo deck first. Is my take. Oh, you could play one Turok. Turok would be 3 black black or black 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 to kick with Heartless Summoning and would immediately die on the ETB. Maybe that's not good enough. I really don't like to terminate Ragavan very aggressively, so I'm going to try to Thoughtseize then play my own Ragavan. If they have 2 red removal spells, good beats. They only have 1. They have 1, but they have Consider. And if they Archmage's Charm steal Ragavan to get in with Ragavan, that's probably okay. Does Aether Vial for spells exist? Yeah, it's Brain in a Jar. Very good draw for my opponent, and they're on the play. And they're expressively iterating. Oh, this means I get to resolve my Fable next turn. And they exile Shredder to iteration, so they've completely bricked, I think. Yeah, I basically have to offer the trade. I'll definitely take it. Then here, I think I'm just playing my Fable. Yeah, with me knowing that they've got Counterspell to hand, I want to play the most expensive spell. I have a DreamHack qualifier coming this weekend, debating between Yawgmoth and Affinity. I'm slightly more familiar with Affinity. I'm kind of sick of it. What do you think is better? I think Affinity is really... I think both Affinity and Yawgmoth are good choices. Affinity might be better. But also, if you're not like a super familiar Yawgmoth pilot, like, you know... I think you have to be very, very comfortable with Yawgmoth to want to register it for a bigger tournament. It's one of those, like you have to be a master. Kind of like if you're not, like, super duper familiar with Titan, I usually don't recommend registering it either. Okay, let me just discard the Catacombs here. Ooh, good card of the matchup. So they're letting me get the token so that they can continue to hold up their Archmage's Charm. And so I'm going to just lead on Nihil Spellbomb. And then... I think I play the Tarmogoyf 2 to try to not let them get a 2-for-1 off the Charm. Well, they might just counter this, yeah. Kind of bad that the Goyf dies to heat here. Not that we know that we don't know about a heat. We know their hand is Archmage's Charm, 2 mystery cards. They did have the heat. Kind of weird that they didn't heat the token. Maybe not that weird. What about Jeskai Twin today, played by Menguchi? It can happen. So I did the same thing that Menguchi and Canister did last year with Caleb D. I 5-0'd with my blue-red twin list against Caleb's decks. And like the reality is, just because Menguchi 0-5'd or just because I 5-0'd, that's just like... Wait, why are they shocking? I know their last card is Archmage's Charm. You're not bluffing anything. What am I missing? It's just like too small of a sample size. It's just too small of a sample size to draw conclusions. I know that... I think that it's possible you could unban Twin. But I would just want, you know, Wizards to hire like independent contractors to spend... like 2 weeks playtesting every iteration of Twin, you know what I mean? Like spending a really long time doing it. And I don't think Wizards is likely to spend money and time on that, but that's kind of like what I would want them to do before unbanning it. Yeah, they did counter the Spellbomb. Main phase draw 2. Don't they know that has a steal mode? Prevent bad, BBD is black to start. Yeah, that would be awesome. I don't know. I mean, if they did unban Twin, it would be like really popular. Like people would be really hyped. It might be worth the money. But it's only worth the money if like they determine Twin is safe to unban. Maybe if I terminate their Murktides, they'll side out Murktide. Oh, bit of lag there. Gonna bring in the second copy of her. So if we're not sideboarding too heavily in this matchup. I have been leaving in the Nihil Spellbomb in the matchup. Johnson, the 26 months, thank you. I think I'll play the first command over third Tracker. Tracker would be kind of slow. Don't like the Nihil Spellbomb. Boyle has its moments for sure. Maybe I can just discard it to Fable if it's bad. Maybe I'll play Boil over Kolagon's Command. We'll try it. Let's try it. Then they terminate the contract with Sam, test their cards. Yeah, well, they would just like do a new contract, right? Like I believe that like the Sam Brad BBD was for Modern Horizons 2. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if they were gonna ever unban Twin, that's what I would want them to do first, because I don't know if it's safe to unban. You know, I've play tested it. I 5-0'd. Mengu play tested it. 0-5'd. The reality is very likely in the middle of, like, you know, somewhere there. But is it a safe card to unban? Because I do think unbans like Bitter Blossom, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Stoneforge Mystic, Wild Nikado, Bloodbraid Elf, those unbans typically become like really exciting and interesting. Although I think that because like these cards are like underpowered fair cards, underpowered fair cards though, it's kind of like a bit easier to unban them too. Did I test with Teferi to protect it? My version was just blue-red. I know Mingu's was Jeskai. Caleb built a Jeskai version that was more controlling, and I built a blue-red version. My blue-red version was playing like Ragavan, Fire Ice, Lightning Bolt, Unholy Heat. Maybe I wasn't playing Heat because I wasn't playing DRC. But I was also playing Memory Deluge. Memory Deluge was like nasty in the Twin deck because like your opponent's just holding up a lot of mana, and then you just get to Memory Deluge, and like you can Deluge into the combo too. It was really, really gross. Yeah, but that is definitely like part of the strength of the Twin deck. You can build it in like many different color combinations, many different tools, many different protection cards. I will also say, like, the effect that Twin has on the format is pushing out. Bring its Murktide on the draw. I think I put back the Thoughtseize. I think, sorry, again, the effect that Murktide like usually has on the format, or sorry, Twin has on the format, is pushing linear fair decks out of the metagame, big mana decks, combo decks, spell-based combo decks, and the problem with doing that is that Omnath becomes like much stronger because Omnath is like further able to capitalize on there being more linear decks and less non-linear decks, or sorry, vice versa. Okay, getting Hearst. I feel like Solitude is a good check on Twin. Yeah, sure. I like you're not wrong, but it's also like there's also way more protection spells for Twin now. Actual factual counter spell to Fairy Time Raveler. And you know, I playtested against Caleb, right? And Caleb did Solitude my Twin Exarch several times, and I still 5-0'd. It wasn't like the game just ended. And I had like an insane amount of card advantage in the deck too, that just like with Iteration and Deluge, it was just like not that hard to keep up. I feel like I'm probably supposed to make a token this turn. And then next turn make a token push Shredder. I really doubt 4-color would jam it. Like, you don't want to play Twin in an 80 deck, probably. I don't know. But people will do it. People, like, that is kind of part of it, is that people will literally put Twin in any, like, shell. Yeah, there was one point earlier. It's like, I think that Murktide, as you see it now, would continue to exist if Twin was unbanned. Modest, thank you for the raid. Hope you're having a good day, buddy. Appreciate you. That's kind of, like, one interesting thing, but I don't know. Is there talk of unbanning Twin? This morning, Canister and Menguchi played, they played Hypergenesis if it was unbanned, and Twin if they were unbanned. And they both decks 0-5'd. Both decks 0-5'd. And I was just kind of talking about how when I did it, I 5-0'd, but I don't know. I think that it's probably best to leave it dead for now, but I will also say this, if Twin gets unbanned, it's really good for me for the stream. It's like it's so good for the stream if Twin just gets unbanned. Ooh, Pox Twin. Yeah, we also did Pod. Pod didn't do that. I think that you could maybe unban Pod. That was my conclusion from our testing that card too. Yeah, can you imagine the content? Okay, okay. If Twin ever gets unbanned, I will do a 24-hour stream. I'm committing to it right now. I will do a 24-hour stream if Twin gets unbanned. I will drop whatever I have going on. If it's Esther's birthday, she's got a birthday every single year. Twin only gets unbanned once. Twin only gets unbanned once, okay? That's just kidding. I'll celebrate Esther's birthday. But then I'll do the 24-hour stream later. Okay. I feel like I'm pretty incentivized to push Shredder and then ping. Oh, wait. If I push first, I guess I have to let them connive. And then Spellbomb seems interesting. I'm paying for Spell Pierce here too. If Moxable gets banned, I'll do a subathon. That sounds really fun. I mean, anything getting unbanned is like great for content, but Twin in particular would be quite the day. Okay, so I can pay for Spell Pierce. Pay for Spell Pierce, Spellbomb my opponent. But my Tarmogoyf shrinks by a lot. Maybe that's okay, though. Isn't Hypergenesis just worse Glimpse? Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time, too. Hypergenesis is worse than Glimpse, for sure. Hypergenesis is also, like, it's one of those, like, that is a card you really do not want to be good. You really do not want to be good. It's like, Hypergenesis is either one of those cards that is completely unplayed or, like, way too good for the format. And there's not a lot of middle ground. Which I think means that I just would rather leave that one banned, but, you know, maybe I'm also a bit hypocritical because I say the same thing about Bridge from Below, but Bridge from Below would be so bad. It would be so bad. It never should have been banned in the first place. It would be so bad because of the incarnations, but it would be fun. We could have started with Push, Spellbomb, then Wrenn and Six. Push Spellbomb, Wrenn and Six. Yeah. That was maybe better. I did play land for turn. I Urza Saga to lose a land. Oh, I did it. Wait, hold on. Did I really not play? Hold on. I did. I played Overgrown Tomb this turn. Sorry. I won game one. I played Overgrown Tomb for turn. Got me doubting myself. Oh, sorry. I think, push. Magic Island always does this. If you, like, click on a card and click cancel, it crashes. Also, like, Bridge from Below was, like, completely unplayable, or not completely unplayable. It was, like, in some cool fringe, like, Vengevine decks. You would play it with, like Walking Ballista. It would be, like, a lot, like, 0-mana 2/2s. But then it's, like, but then Hogak got printed. Bridge was part of, like, this convoluted Altar of Dementia Hogak, like, combo. And they banned Bridge instead of Hogak and Faithless Looting because they didn't want to ban their new card. And it was a really bad decision at the time. Then they had to ban Hogak, and Bridge should have come off when they unbanned Hogak. Where'd I get the wallpaper? I made it. I made this. I posted it to Twitter a while ago, but it's, yeah, Orange Student Smell with Colossus Hammer and Shadowspear. Could have been a pretty good argument, I think, for Thoughtseize first, but just, like, letting the opponent connive is kind of awkward. This Thoughtseize is not getting much better, though. Also, unbanned looting. Yeah, the unbanned looting crowd is just deranged. You're just all lunatics. I'm sorry. If you unban Faithless Looting right now, it is right now the best card in Modern. the #1 card in Modern. Very good hand. I think I take the Heat. And if you ever unban a card and it is immediately, right away, the best card in the format, you've made a mistake. But Spike, my Mardu Pyromancer. Yeah, you know what red in Modern needs? Another busted 1-mana spell. Mardu Pyromancer was so dope. I know it was so dope. I love that deck, but those who want Faithless Looting unbanned because of their Mardu Pyromancer deck, they're just delusional. They were also like similarly delusional back when they were protesting the ban because it killed their deck. It's just like looting had been the best card in the format for a year. It was way too efficient. It's just like, I don't know. And again, this is a point I like to make a lot. If you unban a card, it's immediately the best card in the format. You've made a mistake. Waiting to target Jace for discard, just curious. The Jace wasn't, I feel like, doing all that much with me having the Lightning Bolt to my hand. Them having the Heat for the Tarmogoyf was a big problem. Like, if they go Jace minus here, it's like not a super good use of their mana. I really think it was between Heat and Iteration, to be honest. Would Artifact lands be that bad? Yep. Yep, they would be. It's kind of close between bolting the Channeler and bolting the Jace. If I bolt the Channeler and I draw a land for turn, I can go Terminate Shredder, kill Jace. I think that seems like my best line to victory. It seems like my best line to victory because I'm just so behind. I can also draw an artifact. This doesn't help. Okay. Bad shape now. Hope that they brick super hard. Does the same thing work with new cards? Is the card a mistake if it's the best card in the format straight out of the gates? Yes, it is a mistake if you just immediately make the best card out of the gates. I think so. It's kind of a different conversation though, right? Like one mistake doesn't like make another mistake okay. But at least with unbans, leaving a card on the ban list has almost no cost to it. You know what I mean? You have to be like super confident that you're not destroying your format when you're unbanning a card. When like just there's basically no cost to leaving something on the ban list. Should you brainstorm or iteration first? I mean, kind of depends, but assuming you have as much mana as you need, usually iteration first, and if you have a fetch land. With Image 2, it's a little bit of a wash. Although, like, you can make a good argument that the best card of the format's not an Image 2 card. You can make a good argument for Wrenn and Six, Expressive Iteration, Violent Outburst as being the best cards in Modern. In fact, I kind of feel like it's hard to argue that either Ragavan or Urza Saga are the best cards in Modern. I would put Wrenn and Six or Iteration or Violent Outburst above Ragavan or Urza Saga, and Ragavan and Urza Saga are the best cards from MH2. Yeah, fetch lands are the real number one. Fetch lands are the real number one, but everyone goes, those don't count. Those don't count. All right, let's go to game 3. Yeah, Boyle just, I feel like, is so hit or miss. I'm just going to cite it out. I'm going to play the extra discard spell. Yeah, you can make an okay case for Bobble, too. I thought Agent was the best card from MH2. Well, the thing is, like, Violent Outburst is way better than the Shardless Agent. But, like, the nice thing about Shardless Agent is it lets, like, the Cascade decks exist in 3 colors without needing... before they could play Ardent Plea and be 4 colors to play Violent Outburst, or they could be Jund and play Dread Return. Yeah, I need to unpack the hats and get the hat requests back. I'll saw the to-do list. For the Fables, we cut the second Hearse from the main deck and the fourth Tracker first command from the main. Okay, good hand. Keep this. So I'm pretty likely to want to get a basic forest. So I'm gonna go, I guess, Blood Crypt forest. Needle for Hearse Jace. Well, I have my own Hearses, so and Jace is like just kind of medium in the matchup, to be honest. So I don't think I need the Needle for it. Hard to picture where you go here, design-wise, for Red and Modern. Just even more busted 1-drops. You probably need to go more synergy-based cards, right? Cards that like more so fit in like Prowess and Burn than they do in like the generic fair mid-range decks would be my guess for design in Modern. Don't want K-Command versus Murktide. I'm open to suggestions. Like, this is definitely one of those matchups where we have like 3 or 4 cards in the sideboard you could consider bringing in. Third Tracker, Kolaghan's Command, Boil. I don't really like Needle very much, but we have cards you can bring in. There's not really any cards here in the main deck that or in my deck right now that I think there's a great argument for, you know, that none of my cards are really bad in the main deck, so I'm open to suggestions, but I'm not sure what the exact best configuration is. Kind of trying to figure it out. Okay, I probably have to take the Blood Moon, despite being able to kind of play around it with my fetches. Excited for the Fortnite Secret Lair? Hell yeah. I'm hoping to get a #1 Victory Royale. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with Fortnite, but I don't know. Secret Lairs are for some people, they're not for some people. It's fine. I like Murktide. What do you think people cut in DOC? It's a variance. Okay, we get this question every single day. It's a very, very hot question, so I don't mind answering it. But again, the reality is there is no bad combination of threats in Murktide. Dragon Rage's Channeler, Murktide, Ledger Shredder, and Ragavan are all fantastic threats. You can play any combination of 12 to 14 of them, and you're going to have a good deck. There's a lot of personal preference. My personal preference is 4 Ragavan, 4 DRC, 3 Shredder, 3 Murktide. Although I could potentially see wanting to cut the 4th Ragavan for the 4th Shredder. But again, it's just like, it's just very close. And right now what's going on is people are realizing that they have a good build of the deck because they have some combination, and they're like, oh, I've broken it. I found the best build. But in my opinion, there's just like no wrong answers. Yeah, but eventually I'll have told everybody that. Why Basic Forest instead of going Tome into Mountain? Because of Blood Moon. Blood Moon. Like some hands can't play around Blood Moon in this deck. This definitely felt like a hand that could, so. So I'm saying is Ragavan Unholy Heat Mystery card. I'm definitely just going to ping this Channeler. So I ping the Channeler, they get Delirium. And then, would I rather them heat my Tarmogoyf or heat my Wrenn and Six? I think I should just attack first. Although attacking first is worse against Dress Down as the 1 mystery card. But then making them Dress Down now is fine because I have Saga. So I ping this, and then they can heat in response for Desperation Delirium, which they don't. Okay, now they'll respond with the heat on the Tarmogoyf, probably. Okay, they choose Wrenn and Six instead. Now my Goyf is a 7/8. That's my Merc Slide. It feels good consistency. Yeah, I think it's pretty good too. With all the card selection ability grow within the graveyard, it doesn't have the old Merc problem of really having bad time against static graveyard to do a Shredder. Yeah, that is my opinion, and that's why I like that split too. But everybody's got like super strong opinions, and Again, there's just not really wrong answer. Do we keep this on the draw in the blind? So 1 lander, we're a 23 land deck, we're on the draw with 4 1-drops. I think I'm going to keep. Especially the Ragavan, right? 5 1-drops. No, I think it's close. I think it's close. Obviously, like, knowing the matchup is really important, but I don't feel too bad about this keep. Yeah, but like you just don't worry about making mistakes. Like try to actively learn while you're making mistakes. Find a deck that you think is cool. Start jamming games. Playing against creativity. Yeah, we have played against Song of Creation. That deck's pretty good. Barf. Okay, now I just need to draw a fetch land. It will be gold in chat. There are a lot of decks that are unintuitive, which I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. Like a lot of people do have this attitude where they just really don't want to play a deck that they're gonna make mistakes with, which is fine if you don't want to. But again, there's just no deck you can choose to play that you're going to play perfectly or even well your first few times if you're brand new to Modern, and which is just also totally okay. Try to learn from your mistakes, try to grow and improve, but also just don't sweat it that much. I know that I could keep up removal here, but if they have creativity plus fetch land, they just get to creativity X equals 2 anyways. I need to hit my land drops, so I'm just gonna hope that they don't have it, and if they have it, I hope to draw Terminate. Not ping. It's just like so bad if they have another Dwarven Mine, you know what I mean, and or removal spell for my Wrenn and Six. I think I just have to play around their hand being bad. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the Alpine Moon. Alpine Moon definitely way better against like these new versions that are way more in on Dwarven Mine. And then Kolagon's Command Killing Treasures is pretty nice. I sometimes don't board this card in, but I think it's better than I've been giving it credit for. Turoks are also probably fine. These versions don't really play... They don't really play Persist anymore, so I don't think we need the Hearse. I also do play a lot of Bolts. Maybe I'm going down on... No, I want to cut the pushes. Bolts are fine. Don't really want Needle. Could play 1 push, could play 1 Hearse. We'll play 1 Spellbomb, I think. Kind of like Needle to get a fetch on. Yeah, it has its moments. It's just pretty narrow, though. I think you probably don't want it. Weird hand on the play against creativity. I do like the Fable a lot. I think I'm going to keep. Definitely would be a mulligan on the draw. This hand is awful. Yeah, Fable makes it less awful. We're on the play. Turok is pretty good in this matchup. We have a chance to turn 4 Turok on the play against creativity. Needle for Wrenn and Six. Well, I have 4 Wrenn and Six in my deck. Oh, my opponent boarded up to 63 cards. That's either new Nassif tech that's very good, or maybe they're lost to the sauce. Hard to tell, huh? What's Brainstone for? It's an Urza Saga target when you have a lot of lands in your hand with Wrenn and Six, which is very common in these decks to be pretty mana flooded. So having that like mana flood insurance is definitely something I value a lot in this archetype. Yeah, Brainstone Bonfire, the new evolution of Jund, huh? So if they play Fable, I guess we'll see what we draw for turn, but I probably have to like terminate the Fable and discard Turok so I can kill Wrenn and Six, but then I'll have to terminate for Archon. Is this Prismari command? Kill... Okay. Opponent is learning about how Prismari command interacts against a Tarmogoyf. That was a... and then they pinged the Goyf. No, opponent, no! It's a 3-4. Oh, brutal. I think I just discard the Boseiju here. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. Everybody has to learn about Goyf state-based actions at some point. Is Fable impressive me? I know you think it was just worse than Spyro. So yeah, I think a lot of people heard that part of my explanation of Fable and just thought that was my opinion everywhere. But I've been saying every single time that Fable is worse than Spyro in Rakdos, where you have like no synergy with any of the modes. And I've been saying the whole time that if you're going to play Fable, you need to have synergy with all three modes. In this deck, you have the artifacts make your Urza Saga tokens bigger, the looting is really good with Wrenn and Six, and copying Tarmogoyf Urza Saga Tireless Tracker is way better than copying Dothy Voidwalker, which is, again, your only good target in that version. And then... So yeah, in this deck, it's like very synergistic, very powerful because of those synergies. In Rakdos, it doesn't have access to those synergies and is worse than Seasoned Pyromancer. Creativity is also Fable is also really good in creativity because all three modes are super synergistic. But unlike Pioneer, like it's just like not a card that's powerful enough to just jam in any red deck. Okay, probably would lose that game if my opponent didn't fumble so hard. I do feel like the trample from Shadowspear is relevant. I could play a Hearse. It's kind of good against Wrenn. Seems to me play Fable in 4-color Yoran piles. Yeah, well, in Yoran piles you still have like Fable's good with Wrenn and Six because you're looting away those lands, and then there's a lot of good cards to copy in the 4-color decks. But I'm not sure that it's like optimal in the 4-color deck either necessarily. Got turn 1 discard spell. This hand probably has to be a keep. Is Boseiju the best answer, or am I playing it mainly with the fact that it's recursive with Wrenn? Yeah, because it's Wrenn recurring Boseiju is your plan against Tron, Affinity, Belcher, Hammer Time, Amulet Titan, but it would not be in the 4 of the deck with that Wrenn and Six. Yeah, draw on Brainstone again. Okay, opponent keeps 7. Arid Mesa. Pass. Hopefully my opponent has never heard of the card Veil of Summer. I think with them being on 2 lands, I just have to take the Explorer. And hope that they get mana screwed. Okay, so they are not getting mana screwed. So I'm going to play my Saga, Brainstone, bolt the Fable token, untap. It's good to know that they have 2 creativities in their hand. Not sure exactly what we're doing about it, though. I think this turn we're just making a Saga token. And then I can potentially get a Pyrite Spellbomb to counter creativity. My opponent may also be... I think they're way more likely to just play another Fable here than they are to just jam creativity into open mana. They discard Arid Mesa creativity. Kind of shocked that they just... I'm shocked that they did. David, thank you for the 2-pack. Appreciate you. Okay, and here they make a Fable. They have a land to play. Their hand is creativity, 3 mystery cards. Playing this at an RCQ2 tomorrow. There's RCQ2s on Fridays, or we may be on the other side of the world. Interesting. So this is similar to like the red-green Delirium deck we've been messing around with, but you're playing Harvest over... Okay, so I think I can't make another token. I need to get Pyrite Spellbomb. And then I think I'm just playing Goyf and holding up the Pyrite Spellbomb. They didn't... I can't believe they discarded Arid Mesa. Although they probably find a 4th land here, and they can creativity on their flipped Fable. I mean, so in these like red-green decks that are playing Wrenn and Six, you should have extra Boseijus in the sideboard. The extra Boseijus in the sideboard I think are better than the Grudges. This splash of black for Terminate is, I think, worse than just playing Run Afoul and not needing to splash black in your Blood Moon deck. I think you probably need the second Blood Moon, at least in the main deck, maybe 3. But cutting the Sagas is also interesting, and playing Abundant Harvest is interesting too. I don't know if Harvest is any good at all. I really am unsure. Okay, so if I don't terminate this Goblin Shaman, I block, and then they just creativity on the token. But then I get to block the Goblin Shaman. Yeah, I guess it's best to do it like this, since if they target the token, it's kind of the same. Yeah, I know they played land for turn, and but they can only creativity X equals 1. But they can play around the Pyrite Spellbomb by targeting the token. But then I just sack my construct, try to draw Terminate, and then hopefully they only have 1 more creativity in the deck. Oh, they discarded the second creativity. What is happening? I think they probably think that they have to discard the Fable. Yeah, I think I'd like to see 2 Moon main and like 2 Magus side. So maybe cutting... maybe cutting 4th Season Pyromancer, keep the mana curve good. I'd also probably like to see a second Hearse on the side. Oh yeah, let's play Hearse over Relic on the board. What in the world is happening? Guess they're going to try to creativity X equals 2. Attacking for 8 here. Alright, let's just attack for 8 first. Bolts a token, taking 6. So I think yeah, 8 fetches is enough for Wrenn and Six when you also have the Boseiju. You might want to play like 1 or 2 like red, like 1 or 2 Forgotten Cave, like Forgotten Cave over the Blood Crypt though. So I feel like I should play Wrenn and Six Saga so I can sack the Wrenn to the Archon. Because I can't beat a creativity anyways, right? Or I guess I can beat creativity if they don't have another land. But I can't beat a creativity X equals 2. I'm not beating a creativity X equals 2. It's better to just terminate the Archon next turn, keep the Goyf in play. Also, I think that they've also like made a lot of mistakes. Maybe they just discarded all their creativities, although I can't imagine that they would. Why do people put Urza Saga and Jund a non-artifact ... Is it just because it's a slow 3-for-1 value card? Well, this deck actually incidentally does have a lot of artifacts. You have Tireless Tracker and Fable of the Mirror Breaker to incidentally put a lot of artifacts into play. And then it works really well with Wrenn and Six because you get to recur it. Yeah, we're just never beating creativity X equals 2, even with the Terminate. Looks like they do have it, and I'm going to pack it in. Oh yeah, Ragavan treasures too, also artifacts. Saga on Oko. Oh, okay. Alright. Keep this hand. Very classic modern hand. Oh, Spike, no! Spike, no! Stop! Don't do it. But it's on a multi 6, got a Thoughtseize, play against Rhinos, take the Violent Outburst, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The Tarmogoyf is going to be unfireable, although they could Fury it if I play the Goyf before using one of these lightning bolts. but maybe I would be okay taking the 2-for-1 against the Fury by playing Goif. I think that is the case. I think if they decide that they want to 2-for-1, that's gonna be okay. What's the reason behind Fable instead of Spyro? A lot of synergy with Urza Saga, Wrenn and Six, copying Goif Tracker and Construct tokens is pretty nuts as well. And then I think just you also get Giganta as a companion, and when you have Giganta as a companion, your mana is a lot better because you have no double cost cards. Yeah, they might also stack the Evoke trigger wrong. Right, they do Fury. Hidetsugu consumes all or whatever. That card is fine. That card is fine. It is also, I think, a bit overrated. Where it leads to some crazy blowouts against specifically Hammer Time and is kind of like not super impressive in almost any other matchup. Will there be a stream tomorrow? Yes, stream tomorrow, and then Saturday I'm playing a paper RCQ. And then I think I'm unlikely to play a stream on Sunday, but I'll try depending on how much time and energy I have. I'm kind of very tentatively. So I know the schedule for the longest time has been 5 days stream every weekday, then 1 weekend tournament. But I want to keep that schedule, but the paper weekend tournaments are just kind of replacing the Magic Online ones sometimes. But I also think sometimes I want to be just taking 1 or 2 weekdays off a month. Definitely not every week, but just when I have that 1 weekday off, it really is a huge refresher for me, and I get to just chill, write for Channel Fireball and work on deck lists, and it's a good breaking point. Definitely not every week, but I'm thinking at least once a month, and then twice a month if I need it. They didn't draw Violent Outburst, did they? It'd be so rude if they drew Violent Outburst. Oh man, this is the best card in Modern. It's so freaking good. Okay, so in this matchup, your plan A is kind of Urza Saga them out, and you really want to do that game 1, because a lot of times post-board they'll bring in a lot of Force of Vigors and stuff against you. But your plan is to make creatures that are bigger than their rhinos. You have Giganta, Urza Saga. Shadowspear is a really important part of your game plan, actually. I think I'm going to play a Hearse, because this can get bigger than rhinos pretty quickly, and just kind of play the fair game. Don't know if I'm citing out too much else. We could play the Boil. I don't think Boil is usually one I like that much against rhinos. Oh, sorry, the Void Mirror. Sorry. I bring in the Void Mirror. I don't know how I missed that. I had it in there. Damn it. I couldn't remember. I know I cut one of them. I cut one of them because you have so much graveyard hate against Living End, and you have so much you have a reasonable game plan against rhinos of just making big Saga tokens, and so I just kind of thought I cut both of them for other 3 months, but I guess I didn't. Is there something in your mentality or the format made me interested in revisiting Gen Saga for funsies? I mostly have been trying out Fable and liking it a lot here. Is the 7th discard spell red black needed? I really like the 7th discard spell. You have 6 1-mana removal spells, 2 Terminates, and 2 Lilianas and the Kolaghan's commands for creature removal. I feel like that's plenty. 3rd Inquisition really helps against burn too. It's okay, we don't need the Void Mirror. We need to draw spells though. Guess we've always got Giganta. And I guess both players look pretty flooded here too. Only a 5-bolt push. I'm trying to remember. You might be right. Okay, so spin the footfalls. Okay, I guess it's better to play Tarmogoyf than it is to Gigantha. The numbers change so often. Yeah, it looks like you're right. I am only on 5. I mean, Liliana also kind of plays the role as removal spell, right? But yeah, but I think if you played third push over the third Inquisition, it'd be fine. But you would also need another sideboard card for 4-color Omnath, because I don't usually like leaving in the pushes against them. Or all the bolts. But I do like the third Inquisition against them. Yeah, definitely hoping that we get a Wrenn and Six ultimate. Is there a mono red Obosh list to recommend right now? I don't know. I don't know if there necessarily is ever one I am in love with. They all kind of look fine. They always look fine. I don't know if there's one 4-color Obosh deck that's really that I'm really enamored with. Don't you miss endurance on the sideboard? Well, we have Hearse. We have Hearse and the Lantern for Saga, so not really, no. Yeah, I'm really not a big believer in Ashiok against the 4-color Omnath deck. It obviously has its moments, but I don't think it's the answer. Okay, so I'm going to Fury my Wrenn and Six. 2 turns, though, for the Rhinos coming down. I do have a 5/6 Tarmogoyf. It's better to cycle. I guess it's probably better to play the Gigantha so I can present lethal next turn. So I think what I want to do is... oh, they're going to trade. Okay, I wasn't necessarily expecting this trade. Maybe I'll exile my own graveyard, because their yard is more relevant for a future Goyf, and none of these are relevant for Wrenn and Six emblem. But I just wanted the cantrip there. Riveteer's Charm good enough for a deck like this? I think Riveteer's Charm is very good, but the problem is I usually like it more in non-Saga Jund, where like one with Urza Saga, you have mana sinks a lot of the time. You usually have something to do with your mana. You have Gigantha. So Riveteer's Charm as the card draw spell isn't like as nice, and then Urza Saga being a colorless land is like really awkward with the triple color. But you could play one, like you could play 1 or 2, and it would not be unreasonable. It's definitely still castable, definitely still a good card. Okay, let's go cycle Triumph first. Ooh. Well, Brainstone looking good here. Let me just attack. I hope they didn't draw Violent Outburst. If they did, we trade for a Rhino. It's gonna be okay. Otawara. Oh, dead gone. Can't spend my mana on anything for Gigantha. So we'll just go Tarmogoyf, Brainstone, tapped Overgrown Tomb. Cycle. Yeah, the Gigantha is only non-generic mana costs. Mills, Twitch Prime, thank you. Do they have something else? Stomp my Wrenn and Six. Okay. They gotta keep the card in check. They gotta keep the card in check. Think Brainstone and Urza Saga decks will see some more play. I think so. I mean, it'll see more than like the almost none that it currently sees, because I have liked it a lot here. In like the specific formula of like Wrenn and Six Urza Saga decks, I think that it's good since this does happen pretty often, that you get mana flooded because you pick up so many lands with Wrenn and Six, and being able to brainstorm these away is really valuable. So I'm going to go Terminate, Goyf, and then I can't also play Fable after that, so I'll just get this tapped. Although maybe I'm just holding up Terminate. I could attack. Is there an instant in the yard? There is an instant in the yard. Why not play Molten Vortex? Why play Molten Vortex? Okay, so I think I'm blocking like this. Oh, they have Endurance, don't they? Fuck. I realized it just a second too late. So now if I terminate a creature, Goyfs become 3/4. If I terminate Endurance, these bounce off of each other, but it's probably better to keep a Goyf in play. Probably better to keep a Goyf in play, take 4. Yeah. Wait, they're fetching. Goyfs are going to be 4/5s if this resolves, so they must have... What do they have? Why are they fetching? Otawara? No, they already Otawara. Second... I guess they do play 2. Yeah, this is a huge punt. Right? Oh, no, they bounced their own Bone Crusher. They bounced their own Bone Crusher. Okay, okay. Not a huge punt. Magic is a tough game, huh? Goyf is now big enough, though. I think I'm out of fetchables, too. Just plussing. And his Bone Crusher, Mystery card. They stomp the Goblin Shaman, they can put me to 3. They top deck Fury. Which gets kind of weird with the trample from the Rhinos, I guess. Oh, and they still have Stomp up. This might be enough to kill me. Okay, killing the Elemental, killing Wrenn and Six. So I block both Rhino tokens. I go to 1 off the Stomp. Right? No matter how they stomp, I just go to 1. So they're probably going to kill my Goyf. Which is fine. I don't think we like ever have any other decision besides just to block like this. They miss lethal. Yeah. If they had Furied on my creature instead of on the Wrenn and Six, they kill me. But definitely like a weird situation to be in. So the logic of Fables, you can copy constructs. That's part of it. It makes artifacts for Urza Saga, discards lands that you pick up with Wrenn and Six, copies constructs, copies Goyfs, copies Tracker. Oh yeah, also yeah, type for Goyf is nice too. So they're targeting Gigantha, not Goyf. Both Rhinos die. I take 3 down to 3. Or sorry. Oh right, the trample. I go down to 2. So now I'm dead to their top decked. Top decked burn spells. Unless I draw a Shadowspear. Instead I draw Thoughtseize fetch land, which is as bad as it gets here. As bad as it gets. I'm not dead on board. But I do also have the mana to cycle Proving Ground, then play Fable, then play Hearse, which is better than anything else, I think. Thoughtseize for the L. Good play, good play. Okay, we need our opponent to brick. My opponent has not really bricked on many draw steps this game. And they didn't brick on that one either. Bummer. 2-0 into 2-2. Definitely haven't been playing 100% today. I think this is a keepable hand. Obviously, you might not be able to play Wrenn on turn 2. We can go Thoughtseize into Hearse into activate Saga or play Fable, which is fine. Yeah, Saga's your best card in that matchup, and we just didn't draw it either, which is tough. Charter first came out, I think it's worse than Command. Yeah. I think there's very few decks that Saga's like, or Fable like super fits into Modern. I think it's like exactly this deck and then Creativity and then like random Hayashi decks too. Fetch Shock? Playing against Burn. Of course. I think we have to take the Skull Crack so that way we can just be on a plan of Shadowspear my opponent. This is also probably another matchup actually that Jund is better than Rakdos, or Jund Saga specifically. But just having access to main deck Shadowspear is just like... Hayashi decks are their own kind, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Fetch Shock, Thoughtseize, barf. Barfing on the stack. That's my feeling on Vapor overall. I've been feeling it's been feeling abysmal in Creativity, but in my experience, seems in finalists that can use the Kiki token. I think Fable's amazing in Creativity. Your bars may be too high for it, I don't know, but I think Fable's good again here. Creativity, Hayashi decks, basically nowhere else though. I don't know. I think Fable's nuts in Creativity. I don't really even understand the idea of not liking it very much there. Depends on the Creativity. I mean, maybe, but you should probably just playing a version that's good with Fable. Just kind of the perfect card for those decks. Yeah, it makes tokens for you, filters for your combo, copies Archon. Alright, so we took the Skull Crack. They have to kill me this turn. We know their hand is Swift Spear Helix. Don't I want to keep instants in the yard? I guess yes. But we know they have a Helix in their hand. They're going to get another instant. Doesn't really copy Archon very well. Yeah, but that's like the smallest thing. It's just like the thing has, the Fable has a lot of like little things going for it that make it I think very good. So they're helixing me now. But I get to kill one of the Swift Spears with the Hearse and keep the Hearse around and then hit them with the Shadowspear. Kaito seems better. I disagree, but we can agree to disagree. Alright, so... Oh, actually really nice to draw an artifact return. Just trying to think what we lose to, what else we can do here, but I think it just has to be equip onto the construct. Attack for 5, gain 5, up to 8, and be dead to 2 burn spells. Briscoe, think of the 8 months. Appreciate you. One of their 3 cards is not a burn spell. One of them is... Drum roll, please. Bummer. Creative's issues aren't beating, not having tokens or fine creatives, being 15 instances of permission being burned. I mean, Kaito doesn't help with that either. They targeted the construct! They targeted the construct! I can't believe it! I can't believe it. Oh, man. I can't believe it. So, I mean, best draw here is Ragavan so I can equip the Hearse and attack. I'm trying to think. So, like, obviously if my opponent draws a burn spell, I am toast. Is there any way I ever get to equip the Shadowspear and attack with the Hearse this turn? I don't think that there is. Yeah, no Zurin Orb. Yeah, a lot of puns today on both sides of the table. think I'm just making a token and just I don't see a way to not die to a top deck burn spell. They do have the top deck one. We're also dead to a haste creature. Brainstone into Ragavan. If we Brainstone into Ragavan, we can't have the mana to play Ragavan Crew and equip Shadowspear. Yeah, I know they have Canyon too, but we just still need them to brick. Yeah, we need them to draw land, or Eidolon land, or Eidolon. There's a land. Unreal! Let's freaking go, dude. Land Eidolon. This is 8 power. Yeah. Pretty lucky. Okay, so I do think I'm bringing in the extra Hursk. It's pretty big, pretty quick. But in this matchup, it's kind of just and you want the Pyrite Spellbombs to be able to kill Sanctifier and Vec. And then I think you can play the first command and then the Turoks. The Turoks are pretty bad though, but they're a little bit better than Thoughtseize, I think. But you mostly just want to handle Saga and get a Shadowspear. I didn't like Kaito for that reason. I might be wrong, of course. Though I think now I have a discussion about. Yeah. There's probably other places to have the discussion, but it's also I think that your evaluation, just to keep talking about it when we don't really need to, but I think your evaluation is flawed, right? Where it's creativity's issues aren't really not having tokens or finding creativity. Finding creativity is really important, but the issue is also you have to make tokens. You do have to make tokens. And I know that beating a bunch of burn is the problem for creativity a lot of the time, but that's also fine, right? A card doesn't have to solve all of the deck's problems or be really good against what the deck is already bad to be a nice upgrade for the archetype. You know what I mean? Creativity, you do have to find creativity. You do have to make tokens. Fable is really good at helping you do that. But I think people a lot of times will see new cards and put way too much weight on them. Put way too much stock in having this new card solve all the problems. I see it a lot all the time. That people will see there's new tech in the archetype and people want this new card to solve all the problems, but it's not like the old cards are solving all the problems either. Okay, they do have a Sanctifier and Vec, but maybe Sanctifier rides us to victory, or Saga maybe rides us to victory, and we Inquisition away their answer to the Saga. It's pretty easy to fetch 2 Mires and double target. It kind of solves the deck's smallest weakness. Yeah, again, it's just I don't know. If you have creativity double Mire and your opponent has 1 removal up, that's great. But it's not Fable is also pressuring your opponent's removal spells, filtering your draws. It's something for you to do earlier than that too. I just don't really. I don't know. I think people tend to be too critical of new cards. If I tell you to manage to fit iterations to the Fable, which I recognize that as worthwhile substitution, I think Fable is better than Iteration in creativity, where it has a lot more synergy. Both cards are cards you're casting on turn 3 or after, right? If I'm going to play either Fable or creativity on turn 3, or either Fable or Iteration in creativity, I'm actually wanting to play, I think, Fable almost every single time. You know what I mean? Fable's almost always going to be worth 2 cards in the deck, and has a ton more synergy, and is a turn 3 plus play, just like Iteration 2. Bolts me main phase. Okay, I thought that bolting me main phase meant they had Eidolon. I'm not really sure. Plus it's faster. Yeah, I don't understand the argument that Expressive Iteration is faster than Fable, because they both turn 3 flays. Like, one of them lets you maybe... I think I'm supposed to get the Shadowspear here, not the Pyrite Spellbomb. It's kind of close, though. Like, one of them maybe, like, lets you double spell on turn 3. One is card advantage, another is not neutral. Dude, Fable is definitely... Fable is card advantage. Like, the looting part of Fable is not card advantage, but you get the 2/2 token, and then you get the 2/2 backside. That's a 2-for-1. And then you get the card filtering 2, which is card advantage if you're playing, like, Nassif's Wrenn and Six version. Okay, game 3. But, like, so is Crab by that logic? No, not necessarily, but yeah, yes, Crab is card advantage. Crab is card advantage. But also, like, a 2/2 that's attacking and making treasure is worth way more than an 0/3 Crab, right? Like, that feels like a bit of a false equivalency, but yes, it is card advantage. In fact, Hard Evidence is also a 3 mana 2-for-1 in the same way that Fable is a 3 mana 2-for-1, but you get way more value for your 3 mana card. Okay, let's keep this. I know we don't have, yeah, maybe one more Boseiju is actually good because they brought in the, the 2 mana enchantment. Although I just naturally drew my Boseiju, I guess. Yeah, we could move on. I just thought it was an interesting conversation. If my opponent plays Eidolon, I'll probably Boseiju it and then Fable. So they play Sanctifier. Yeah, I think it's a cool conversation. I don't think I've got any other like big points I want to make though. I think that I've stated my stance, you know. Okay, Boseiju for the Eidolon. Attacks with Sanctifier. 4 cards in their hand. Tarmogoyf is a really nice draw. So I can go channel Boseiju and then play any of my extra spells after I attack. I think I'm discarding Kolaghan's Command, Bloodstained Mire, and I'm most likely to just want to... Ooh. Yeah, I think I still just want to play the Tarmogoyf post-combat off the treasure token, and then get tapped Overgrown Tomb and hopefully snipe 2 cards, which is maybe less likely if I'm giving them the extra mana here. Oh, I was supposed to attack first. I was definitely supposed to attack first, yeah. Let's see if we get punished. Okay. Yeah, so bad against Searing Blaze. Oh, right, the Sanctifier shrinks the Goyf. I don't get the Goyf is still a 1/2. I mean, I still think I have to play it, so I'm not fetch shocking to play the Fable. So they didn't play anything end of turn, which is really weird. My top card is Verdant Catacombs. Thank you, Goblin Guide. I think we just take 4. This must have been their draw for turn. They didn't play anything end of turn with 2 mana. I can't imagine that they're this flooded. They probably have like 1 or 2 instant burn speed spells. Double Rolling Vortex is so weird here. So weird. Probably not going to be able to beat it. Flip this. Get their last card out of their hand. Attacking with the Shaman token. Holding these two in hand for Fable discard down the line. Their last card was a copy of Deflecting Palm. And then I guess the question is, do I need to chump block Sanctifier with Tarmogoyf this turn? I'm taking 2 down to 6. 2 from Sanctifier down to 4. I think no, so I can copy it with Fable potentially. Or potentially grow the Goyf and then race them. No, you're good, gaming. You're good. GG. Sometimes you get top decked. My opponent also needs to not draw a single more burn spell the rest of this match. Will Goyf live if you trade with Kiki and block with Goyf? No, because the Kiki's red. It just gets exiled to Sanctifier. Yeah, maybe they'll suspend Rift Bolt. That'd be pretty funny. But there's like no reason for them to suspend and not hard cast. I guess I can still chump block. I can still have the option to chump block. Okay, I wasn't expecting them to attack with the Goblin guy. There's a Wrenn and Six on top of my library, which doesn't do very much. Oh, I could Wrenn and Six Boseiju. I get to Wrenn and Six Boseiju. That's a head scratcher. That's a head scratcher. All right, so I guess I'm blocking here. Oh. Yeah, I think they should have attacked with their Sanctifier. I go down to 6. Why not block with Turok? I think that the 3/2 Turok that can attack through Sanctifier, in fact, is more relevant than the Reflection. Okay, so I can go Wrenn and Six, Boseiju for 1 mana, attack, throw away the Goblin Shaman with the attack, so I can play the second Fable, which then loot these 2 away for next turn. I think this is the line. Just in case they kill Turok with the burn spell, I think I'll just put the Boseiju in my hand first. Although I guess they just like would respawn, maybe. Kind of hard for them to play around it. And then, okay, activate Rolling Vortex. Why do we need to throw away the token? We need to throw away the token to. So the option is, I guess the option is either fetch a forest or throw away the token, but. This line beats Boros Charm. And lets me actually loot away both lands, which I think is better. Yeah, we'll Boseiju on their turn. Might also stun lock my opponent. And they might not block, I don't know. No block. It was worth attacking all. No, I'm actually going to chump block with a Tarmogoyf, I think. So this way I could just like potentially beat a burn spell. Although maybe I'm not Boseijuing Rolling Vortex so that I can. If I feel like I want to play around Searing Blaze, I could leave it in play, and I might just want to deal them 2 more damage, and be dead to only Boros Charm or 2 burn spells. We'll see. Is Fable better in Season? It's better in this deck, not in Rakdos, in my opinion. So 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can kill 1 Vortex here and dodge beat Boros Charm. This has been a situation where you could copy with Kiki. Yeah, it's a big part of it for sure. But, again, I think all 3 modes have to be good in the deck. And in this deck, the Treasure Token, good with Urza Saga. The Loot, good with Wrenn and Six. The Copy, good with Tarmogoyf for Urza Saga. And, Tracker. But it's definitely a, I think just all 3 modes have to be good. And I think all 3 modes are kind of mediocre in Rakdos. And that's not the case here. Yeah, I don't know why they're activating Rolling Vortex. There's not really a reason. But we beat Boros Charm. We do lose to 2 1-mana burn spells, and we kill them on the backswing. And we get to draw a few cards here. Very, very close game. We do maybe give them Landfall for Searing Blaze. Down to 5 up the Vortex. Yeah, so it's 5 damage from the attacks, 1 damage from the ping. Oh, weird draws. 1 damage from the ping, and then 1 damage from the rolling Vortex ping. So Helix gets me, but I can also now play Tireless Tracker as a blocker, and I guess I'll play the Hearse. No, Hearse gives them a target for Smash to Smithereens. If their hand is Smash to Smithereens mystery card, that just loses. Loot the Hearse, so Goyf is a better blocker. Well, Goyf is already a 2/3 blocker, which is like it shouldn't really matter that much. Okay. So 3-2 that league. That was a really tough league. Oh, I could crew Hearse to have it not die to Smash to Smithereens. That is actually true. But then I don't get to block the Sanctifier. But I guess blocking Sanctifier only matters if they have Helix. I don't know. There's just like I don't think any reason to play the Hearse. Any changes to deck? I think I like this Jund.